I'm Colette Baron-Reid, and this is my spiritual adventure human dolphin experience in Bimini, Bahamas. Look at that water. Isn't that incredible? I took 20 people to change their lives in a transformative experience, spending a week on a catamaran, engaging with wild dolphins. To say this was life-changing is an understatement. The purpose of the trip, everybody got a reading from me every single day, and we did about an hour and a half each day doing some exercises and to really find out what prevents us from our bliss. In our day-to-day lives, in our urban lives, we rarely get a chance to really understand and connect to the fact that we are connected to all of life. It was pretty incredible that these dolphins trusted us enough to come to the boat and invite us in the water. And they literally came up to us within 2 feet. I mean, some of them touched us even. They came up and nudged us. And the feeling that we had from this was so awe-inspiring because there was a sense that you just don't get in your day-to-day life of what really counts. We had the best time. We were dancing, there was music, there wasn't a dry eye. I mean, every time someone got out of the water, they were bawling because the emotional release that you get from encountering these wild dolphins. I mean, it was just amazing. The crew was extraordinary, by the way, too. The crew was amazing. The Wild Quest Dolphin experience is something that everybody should experience. We had the best time. Even one night we went out, we had this magic bus that came and got us after we took this this boat trip. It was hilarious. Hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. And we went to this phenomenal restaurant. I mean, talk about having the best fish on the planet. It was so good. And then we danced our pants off. It was so much fun. So it was really something. One of the most important parts of the trip, and that was for every one of us, is that we quickly formed a cohesive pod, just like the dolphins were a pod. So we mimicked the dolphins. By the end of the trip, we were a cohesive group. And, I know for myself that when I left the trip, I noticed a vast difference between the sense of community that we had, this cohesive community that really worked together and felt together and swam together. And it was amazing. Look at that dolphin come right up to the boat. Right up to the boat. They were so friendly. And there's the mom with her little baby. There was a mother dolphin. Actually, there was a couple of them that came, and it was as if they were bringing their babies to us to say, see, look. And they actually did. They brought the baby right up to the boat. Right up to the boat. It was amazing. They swam in pairs, sometimes in pods of 5. There was one time there was a pod of 9. I mean, you just had to celebrate it. There was 5 right there that everybody engaged with. The dolphins that you're seeing now in the pictures were the most active with everybody. Pretty soon what you'll see is everyone got in the water. And it was heart-wrenchingly beautiful is what it was. It was something else. So we had to jump in at the same time because we had to form a pod too. That's how it worked with the dolphins. You had to kind of stay together in a little group. And then they would swim around everyone and go in and out. Look how close this was. They come right up to you. Right up to you. And they're so curious and inquisitive, and they wink at you, and you feel their sonar, moving along your body. It was amazing. And these are spotted and bottlenose dolphins together, so there wasn't just the one kind. See how close they were. You could just float at the top of the water and they would come and want to play with you. And they would come up behind you too and nudge you, and you'd be like in shock because a wild dolphin just came and played with you and nudged you. The trust that you felt from these incredible animals. The kind of feeling that you have from this experience, You know, in a way, certainly for me, and I mean, I got a chance to talk to every single person there every day when I did a reading, and the things that came up for people, you know, what prevents our bliss, what really prevents us from feeling in community with our fellow man and also our fellow creatures. We share this planet with these amazing beings. There's a lot of thinking about our connectivity. Look at this. This is the dolphins holding hands, and they would play with each other and nudge each other with their fins. And then they would jump over the waves. They love to surf. That's what we noticed. The dolphins love surfing. And sometimes they'll go under you, and then they'll whip around from behind you. There wasn't a dry eye. I mean, literally, I think every single day everybody cried because it was such a heartbreakingly beautiful experience. It's like nothing I've ever had in my life before. I will never be the same. Here's a little baby. So, after the week, I think the first thing that came to my mind is, when can I do it again? So we are planning next year in 2011, the last week of May and the first week of June, I'm going to be taking 2 groups of 20 people to do this again. You know, the interesting thing is the backdrop of this whole trip, you know, my seminars, and then, of course, what happens to you when you're in the water with the dolphins. The combination is transformative, for sure. So we'll be there again in 2011, last week of May and the first week of June. So I hope to see you there next year.